Hi guys, welcome back to Conversations with Karen and Maya. I'm Karen.
I'm Maya.
And today we're doing something a little bit more fun. Maya always likes to ask me questions. She likes to go on Reddit all the time. You tell them.
I like to read one thread on Reddit, not any of the other ones, which is Am I the Butthole, we shall say. That's the only one that I read, and I don't read it as often as Mom thinks. I just read it sometimes when I'm bored. But that's the only thing I read on Reddit. I don't actually know how it works. It has way too many threads and way too many buttons. But I found it because it kept appearing on my Instagram feed, and I decided to read one. And then when you try to download something on Instagram, it tries to get you to download the app. And so I ended up with the app. I've deleted it twice, but this is the longest it has stayed. And sometimes if I read like a particularly like difference of opinion one, then I will read it to Mom and be like, so what do you think? And so that's kind of like for this one. Mom will have to do the reading because I'm more congested. So the first one we have.
So let us know also as we answer the questions, what would you do as well?
Actually, that's not how it goes.
Okay,
so
how's it go?
We read it and then you answer if the person is NTA, which means not the butthole, meaning the original poster is not the butthole, but the person they're referring to is, or YTA, which means you are the butthole and the rest of the people in the story are not, or NAH, which means no buttholes here, and then there is ESH, which means everybody sucks.
So I thought, okay, let's talk about some of these things and see what we come up with.
Okay, I'll read the first
these
one.
Scenarios. And these are real life scenarios.
Yeah. Most of them. Some of them are bots, but you know when you see a bot one. Anyone that's read Reddit knows when the bots exist.
Tell us what you would do or what you think.
People do give advice in the thingy, but the administrators are like, you don't have to give advice. You just have to answer. But people will give advice regardless. But I'll read this one because it's short. It says, am I the butthole for telling a guy not to do curls at the squat rack? And so it says, yesterday, 22 female, was at the gym and I noticed this guy.
Oh, she was a 22-year-old female.
Yeah.
Okay.
Noticed this guy who was doing bicep curls at the squat rack. This looked weird, but regardless, I went up to him and asked him how many sets he has, to which he said 1. As a result, I decided to wait until he's done with his exercise. For those of you who don't work out, a squat rack at any gym is 90% of the time being used.
Mm-hmm.
And most of the time, you'll wait in line. It looks extremely bad to do any other exercise that can be done at any different spot where people don't have to wait. However, I let him do his exercise. He then tells me with attitude, why don't you do another exercise until I'm done? To which I say, I'll just wait until you're finished with your set. He tells me I don't know gym etiquette and that I'm impatient. To which I respond with, maybe you shouldn't be doing curling at a squat rack. He then reports me to the staff. The staff essentially saw where I was coming from, but does note that people can do any exercise at any machine. I told her I was aware, which is why I waited until the guy was done. I'm asking, am I the butthole? Because 2 other people overheard the conversation and said I was rude.
Oh. Okay, so if I'm understanding you correctly, a guy was in front of the squat rack doing bicep curls. He wasn't doing the exercise. Yeah. She wanted to use the machine.
Yeah.
So she's waiting for him to finish. Or so she thinks he's finished. But he wasn't really, he didn't want to move.
He didn't want to move.
And she went to, he reported her.
Yeah.
And then they said that they talked to 2 other people and said that she was rude to him.
No. The 2 people around her after the attendant had walked off said she was rude.
the attendant was rude.
No.
That she was rude to the guy.
She was rude to the guy. Just answer. Is she the butthole?
Is she, guys? I mean,
Top reply says, not the butthole.
Oh, no, don't. Let me form my own opinion first. So I would say no. I don't think she was.
You don't say no, you say not the butthole.
Okay, she's not. I'm trying to find a different word than the butthole. But I don't think she was.
We're only saying that because I'm pretty sure this video would be flagged if I repeated the actual title that many times.
I don't think she is, simply because if you are waiting, and clearly if you're in front of the machine that everybody is trying to use, and you're using it for your own purposes, and you know that people want to use that machine, why would you then continue to stand in front of it? So you are impeding the progress of other people. But I think what she should have done to counteract him was to go and tell them that, you wouldn't want a line forming at that particular place due to this person standing in front of it doing thus and so. I wouldn't have brought my disagreement to him, or I would have gone to an attendant. And then they could tell him to move or not.
Yeah.
I was hoping that this one, I was like, let Maya do this one. So this is what we're doing. But let us know what you think. Would you then want that person to move? Yeah.
Okay.
How would you respond? Let me read the next one.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know what that means.
Am I the butthole?
Oh. So am I the butthole for telling my sister-in-law's brother's wife she wasn't invited on a road trip due to her not driving and anxiety? Here's the story. I invited my sister and mother on a girls' road trip, but excluded my sister-in-law due to her not driving. I have 3 brothers, and my oldest brother is the only one that is married. Let's call my sister-in-law Jenny. Jenny is overall fine. We don't have much in common, but she hasn't given anyone any problems. Jenny doesn't drive due to her anxiety. Oh, with driving, I guess. And this was explained to us by our brother before we met her, and to be kind. Just being in the car makes her jittery. She gets really anxious easily and has stepped out of events before. This hasn't been an issue. Usually she will just leave with my brother, calm down, and come back to the event. We only have one case of another family member needed to pick her up since she can't drive. I wanted to go on a road trip across the USA. It's a ton of driving. Even if we're only hitting one of the coasts, this means a lot of driving and stuck in the car. We made a driving schedule to make it easier so not one person is driving all the time. Due to all these factors, we didn't invite Jenny. She can't help driving, and we don't need to be in the car with someone that is stressed and anxious for hours on end. In the big group chat, I sent out a text that I won't be able to go to a family event due to the trip. I get a call from my brother, and he asked why his wife wasn't invited, and I explained the above reason. He told her, and now both of them are unhappy with me. My mom and sister think this is stupid, and their words not going to invite someone who clearly would be miserable stuck in the car. So before you read the verdict.
I already read them to make sure that they could be screened for camera.
Okay. I think the best way not inviting her, I would have talked to her first to let her know.
I would not have.
Oh, really?
Nope. It doesn't make any sense. I've gone on a road trip, for anyone who's curious. I went on a road trip from North Carolina to Chicago, which I believe was like 13 hours or something, and we had to stop occasionally. And in the first hour, it felt like we were driving the longest, not because we were, but because we had just realized that we have embarked on a half a day drive. And we weren't going from coast to coast. So imagine someone, and I can, because one of my sisters has nausea when she's in the car for a long distance. And when I was a kid, she used to hold her stomach and freak out about the fact that she felt like she was going to be nauseous. And it made me scared. So my thinking is, if you are a type of person that cannot be in the car and you get anxious while driving so they can't switch you off and allow you to drive, it's not a great place for you to be. For me, for everyone who knows, I cannot drive. But my job on the road trip was making sure everyone stayed awake. So in order for you to be able to do that, you have to not be anxious. So everyone has to calm you down. So I don't believe that they did anything wrong by not inviting her. I feel like if they invited her and then complained that she was anxious, then they would have been the
I think she should have gone to her and said something, though.
I don't believe so.
Just to let her know, like, while we would like to invite you, we know that you have this issue or whatnot, and so we chose not to include you. I think that just would be nice, but I understand where you're coming from. What do you all think? Let us know in the comments below. Well, that was a tricky one. That was really tricky.
What is your verdict, though? You have to pick one.
Well, she looks like a pain in the butt because she didn't go to her and just completely cut her off, and then the brother finds
so you're
out.
Saying everybody sucks here.
Yeah, I think this was a lose-lose situation.
Okay.
I do, because no one was communicating properly. I think that's a lack of communication.
Only 3 people agree with you.
Okay, let me know. This is scenario 2. How many of you agree with me? And then how many of you agree with Maya?
Mine is not the butthole.
Mine is everybody.
The reason mine is not the butthole is because the brother then contacted his sister and asked, why didn't you invite her? Well, he knows full well that she would not do well in the car. And then she says that her brother and the sister-in-law are now mad at her. But now let's say that she succumbs to the fact that they're mad at her and says, okay, I changed my mind. Mm-mm. You are invited. And then she ruins their trip. Then who would be in the right then?
Like I said, I think everybody's wrong because they did not communicate well.
Yeah. Okay.
Scenario 3, please.
All right. Am I the butthole for not giving back the dog I paid for? My partner, 25M, and I, 25F, have been thinking about buying a dog for a few years now. We originally was going for a puppy, but we found a just under 2 years Springer Spaniel on a pet selling site that was perfect fit for us. He was getting rehomed by a family, mom, dad, and young son, because they felt they didn't have time for him. We messaged them on Monday, and he confirmed he could meet us on Thursday for pickup. We heard nothing from the man through the week, apart from an odd message from us with questions. We picked him up on Thursday, and it was all fine. We handed over the money. He was nervous, but settled in okay. The dog. We bonded to this dog and paid for all new things for him. But the day after we picked him up, the owner messaged us saying he made a mistake and wanted him back. My partner called him and politely explained, no, that's not fair on us and the dog. The previous owner then tried to guilt trip us for not giving him back, saying things like, well done, you've broken 3 people's hearts. The child is crying because of you, and saying we weren't fit because we live in a flat. He was aware we lived in a flat from the get-go, and we are in the process of training the dog how to live in one.
A flat being an apartment, for those who don't know.
For not giving the dog back.
No.
Yeah, that was an easy one.
No, especially if you've already paid for it.
It sounds like a scam, though.
No, it wasn't. It didn't sound like a scam to me. It sounded like a...
No. The guy selling the dog, then after the money process through, being like, now give me the dog back. Now, how long would it take for the people to get their money back?
You would do the money at the same time as the exchange if you were giving the dog back. That would be my expectation.
Yeah, but they do these things, like they do these things a lot where they're like, here you have the dog, and then you get, but usually in the scam, you don't get the dog. You actually send the money and the dog just never appears. So if it was a scam, they did it very wrong. But yeah,
no, I don't think
so.
No, and by that time you've paid for the dog, you bonded with the dog, it's your dog. No, just because they're having regret. That's what I think it is. And now you have regret.
It probably is mom, dad didn't want a dog anymore, but young son didn't get the memo that dog leaving. And now the house is in turmoil and they're like, we need the dog back.
Yeah, but it is what it is. That was scenario 3. Let us know what you think about that.
And now we have
we'll do one more.
Okay, I'll read this one. Am I the butthole for buying the dress my cousin wanted? My cousin, Leah, 17 female, and I, 16 female, go to the same school. We are not very close because we are in different year, but we hang out from time to time. Several weeks ago, we went clothes shopping together. Leah is quite fashionable and buys lots of clothes and accessories.
Okay.
By the time we got to this one store, she already bought quite a lot of things.
Okay.
When she found a beautiful dress there, she said in frustration that she could not afford it. I told her she could ask the staff to put the dress on hold, then save money, but she said it was too much trouble. 2 weeks ago, I went shopping with my mom and we went to the store. The dress was still there and there was one in my size. It was a little expensive, but my mom bought it for me since I haven't bought new clothes in ages. When Leah saw me wearing the dress to our cousin's birthday, cousin's birthday? She was angry. She later called me and said I was the butthole for buying the dress I know she wanted. I told Leah since she didn't put the dress on hold, I thought she wasn't serious about it. Leah said that store puts things on sale regularly and she plans to buy the dress then, but I ruined it and steal the dress from her because she can't wear it anymore or risk being seen as a copycat. I mean, I know she's the one who first showed interest in the dress, but she didn't care enough to place a hold on it. Shouldn't I be allowed to buy the dress?
Yeah.
The cousin's argument that stuff goes on sale, as a person that works on retail, if you put something on hold and the thing goes on sale, it's still on hold. Like, it's still being held for you. But the thing is, I don't know how holds work in clothing, but in my store, you can only hold something for 24 hours. So,
do I think she's, in the wrong for, buying the dress? No.
There's another option for info, and I feel like I need some more info because she said she saw me wearing the dress to our cousin's birthday. Does she mean if you bought a dress that someone else likes, why would you then wear it to someone's birthday party knowing that person was going to be there to see it?
Oh, well, maybe she just wanted the dress because the cousin wanted the dress.
But that would make her partially the butthole. So I need some
Let
more
us
info.
know what you all think. This is scenario 4. And yes, we're going to leave this one right here. Yeah. We thought this would be an easier thing to do today since both of us are getting over our colds. And yeah, but let us know. And if you ever seen that little area on Reddit, check it out. It's very interesting. Maya always has some interesting things to share. Whenever she goes there, whenever she checks out the site.
I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Please like, share, subscribe, and press the bell for notifications.
We'll see you guys next week. Bye.